Welcome to my American History Notes, where I discuss conclusions I've drawn from studying American history, conclusions that you might not agree with or may even be offended by, but that at least you should study it yourself and have your own conclusions, and even if it's just to disagree with what I say. So, talking about what I said was a disastrous presidency for the United States, for America, President George H.W. Bush, and I'm going to conclude with his presidency today before I go on to Clinton. One would think that President Bush had experienced an amazingly successful presidency. So why wasn't he reelected? Well, for one, the U.S. economy was growing very slowly and the trade deficit was booming. The federal budget deficit was growing also. There was a massive failure of government insured savings and loans due to fraudulent dealings and bad loans. Bush proposed a bailout of billions of dollars. Petroleum prices shot up during his administration on the threat of war in the Persian Gulf. High interest rates mandated by the Federal Reserve Board brought the war enthusiasm to an end. William Clinton ran against Bush in the 1992 election, and the Democrats successfully pushed the issue that the economy was in a recession. They blamed the policies of the Republicans, who had controlled the presidency for over a decade, and the mantra, quote, "It's the economy, stupid," coined by Democratic strategist James Carville, took hold of many people. Then Ross Perot ran a strong third party campaign using his fortune to air ads about his candidacy. He will pull votes away from President Bush, not Clinton. Finally, on October 30th, 1991, a quote, peace conference convened in Madrid, Spain by President Bush on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. An American president was, for the first time, formally pushing for the Israeli government to surrender land in exchange for promises of peace. An event which was repeated over the next several years occurred at the same time. Secular commentators would never even begin to imagine the two are related. Those people who know the Bible have to look at the obvious link. While Bush was speaking, a powerful storm developed off the coast of Nova Scotia, an unusual storm. It would grow to become what has been called the perfect storm and be the subject of books and movies. It came ashore on October 31st, 1991, and smashed into New England, damaging severely, among other things, Bush's Kennebunkport, Maine mansion, destroying what Bush said were many years of accumulation of books and personal items. As the Maine Sunday Telegram said on November 3rd, quote, washed out to sea in the storm that ravaged the Atlantic seaboard. Excuse me. So I suggest you read Deuteronomy 32:10 and then Amos 9:14 to 15 in the Bible. On August 23rd, 1992, Bush moved the Madrid Peace Conference to Washington, D.C. Once again, land for peace was the theme. The day of the conference, Hurricane Andrew devastated southern Florida, causing $30 billion in damage, leaving over 180,000 people homeless in southern Florida alone. Many newspapers coincidentally had the conference and the storm share front page space. According to one evangelist and historical writer, William Grady, in his book, How Satan Turned America Against God, Volume 1, Understanding the Times, quote, less than 1 year after attaining an incredible 92% approval rating following the Iraqi defeat in February 1991, Bush was spiraling to re-election defeat for coming against God's nation, Genesis 12:3, unquote. The trend would continue throughout the next two administrations, with apparently only Bible believers taking notice. So, and once again, only a person who believes the Bible would even see these connections. So, those of you who are secular or atheist or some other religion, you would go, wow, there's no connection between these two things. Well, I disagree, but that's great if you study it yourself. So let's go back to the politics here, and we're going to talk about Bill Clinton next. Very interesting presidency. I would say equally as devastating to the United States of America as George H.W. Bush, and probably more so because he was more popular. But let's stop for now. Thank you.